Do you know that Brazil is the fifth largest country in terms of area and seventh in terms of population? And its impressive economy ranks 10th globally by nominal GDP, with its abundant natural resources, diverse culture, and strategic location. The country has the potential to become one of the world's leading economic powers. However, beneath this colorful surface lies a range of obstacles that have prevented Brazil from truly unleashing its economic potential. So what are these obstacles? What's holding it back from claiming its rightful place as a true economic powerhouse? Let's delve into the challenges holding this giant back from unleashing its true economic might. So let's get started. Brazil, a land adorned with an explosion of colors, rhythms, and natural wonders. From the passionate beats of its samba-filled streets to the breathtaking embrace of the Amazon rainforest, Brazil dazzles with its vibrant spirit. Its diverse economy and abundant natural resources have positioned it as a potential titan on the world stage. As a matter of fact, this South American powerhouse is set to be the world's fifth largest economy by 2050, overtaking Japan, Germany, and Russia in the process. Brazil is one of the world's giants of mining, agriculture, and manufacturing, and it has a strong and rapidly growing service sector. It's a leading producer of a host of minerals, including iron ore, tin, bauxite, manganese, gold, quartz, diamonds, and other gems. Adding to its impressive agricultural achievements, about one-third of the world's oranges are grown in Brazil, surpassing even the United States, the second largest supplier, by more than twice the amount. In fact, Brazil has grown its economy rapidly in the past few decades, but faces challenges as it struggles to control government corruption and inflation that has plagued the country in recent years. From structural hurdles that echo through the cities to its bureaucratic tangles that ensnare its aspirations. So let's explore some of the main factors that have held it back from reaching its full potential. The first factor that hinders Brazil's economic development is its complex and inefficient tax system. The tax system is highly regressive, meaning that it imposes a heavier burden on the poor than on the rich. For example, indirect taxes such as value-added tax and excise taxes account for more than half of the total tax revenue, while income tax rates are relatively low and have many exemptions and loopholes. This reduces the progressivity of the tax system and limits the government's ability to redistribute the income and provide public services. Moreover, the lengthy procedures and complex regulations deter foreign investment and hinder the growth of domestic enterprises. It takes an average of 1,501 hours per year for a medium-sized company to comply with all the tax obligations, compared to 237 hours in the OECD average. According to the World Bank's Doing Business report, Brazil ranks 124th out of 190 countries in terms of ease of doing business, falling from 109 in 2018 to 19. These economic issues cause uncertainty and discourage potential investors from investing in long-term projects in the country. The second factor limiting Brazil's economic growth is its inadequate infrastructure. Brazil suffers from chronic underinvestment in transport, energy, water, sanitation, and telecommunications infrastructure. Poor infrastructure increases the cost of doing business, reduces competitiveness, and hampers trade and integration with global markets. Moreover, inadequate infrastructure affects the quality of life and well-being of millions of Brazilians who lack access to basic services such as electricity, clean water, and sanitation. Another important factor that impedes Brazil's economic progress is its low productivity and innovation. Brazil has been experiencing a slowdown in productivity growth in the past few years due to a combination of structural and cyclical factors. Some of the structural factors include slow and unequal human capital accumulation, ineffective state intervention policies that distort market incentives, low savings and investment rates, and limited integration with global value chains. In Brazil, structural bottlenecks resulted in a meager average GDP growth over the past decade despite favorable demographics. Some of the cyclical factors include the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on economic activity and health outcomes, high inflation and interest rates that erode purchasing power and investment returns, rising public debt, political instability and social polarization that affect governance and policymaking, and external shocks such as commodity price fluctuations and trade tensions. In fact, the COVID-19 pandemic left Brazil with one of the highest global death tolls. If we talk about unemployment, Brazil's unemployment rate increased to 8.4% in January 2023, interrupting a sequence of 10 consecutive retreats in the margin. Inflation has also been a persistent challenge for Brazil. Its peak at 12.1% in April 2022 led to a significant monetary tightening cycle. Furthermore, Brazil's currency has also suffered significant depreciation in recent years, and the country has been undergoing a tremendous deindustrialization process over the last 2 decades. Now, another factor on the list is corruption, which has been a major issue in Brazil for many years. It's affected all levels of government and has hindered economic growth. According to Transparency International, Brazil ranks 94th out of 180 countries in its Corruption Perceptions Index. This has made it difficult for Brazil to attract foreign investment and has led to a lack of trust in the government. Then comes income inequality. Brazil has one of the highest levels of income inequality in the world, despite being one of the largest economies. This has led to social unrest and has made it difficult for the government to implement policies that benefit the entire population. In fact, at the current pace of progress, it will take the country 75 years to reach the United Kingdom's current level of income equality and almost 60 years to meet Spanish standards. And the worst part, inequality threatens to reverse the progress the country has made in ending poverty. Despite significant progress in recent years, a large portion of the population still lacks access to basic education, healthcare and other essential services, hindering social mobility and economic growth. About 45% of children in Brazil live below the poverty line. In fact, according to total national wealth share statistics, the richest 10% of Brazilians own around 80% of the nation's wealth. Environmental instability is another important factor. The Amazon rainforest, the lungs of our planet, plays a critical role in Brazil's environmental sustainability. The country is home to 60% of the Amazon rainforest, making it a vital player in the fight against climate change. However, deforestation, driven by economic activities, poses a serious threat to this precious resource. Brazil is no longer on track to fulfill its NDC targets of a 37% reduction in greenhouse gas emissions by 2025 and a 43% reduction by 2030 relative to 2005 levels due to recent increases in deforestation emissions. Now, looking at the current financial conditions, real GDP growth is predicted to decelerate to 0.8% in 2023 due to monetary tightening, persistently rising inflation, and weak global demand. On the fiscal front, public debt is expected to increase gradually to 78.5% of GDP by 2025 due to higher refinancing costs and temporary higher social expenditures. And together, these factors are likely to depress private consumption, exports, and investment. So in the light of this scenario, we can say that while there are signs of resilience and potential growth, addressing the underlying challenges and promoting sustainable economic development will be crucial for Brazil's future economic trajectory. And achieving a higher potential output trajectory would require a revitalized impulse towards implementing structural reforms that could boost and support both investment and productivity. Although Brazil possesses all of the right ingredients required to become an economic superpower, and it can design a better future by addressing its infrastructure, bureaucratic difficulties, and environmental concerns. However, finding the correct balance between safeguarding the poor and guaranteeing the sustainability of public finances, notably at the subnational level, will be a crucial policy problem in the coming years. Furthermore, Brazil has yet to build a long-term integrated national strategy to meet its climate targets. Thank you for joining us on this enlightening exploration. If you found this video interesting and enjoy the content, hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more content. Keep learning and keep watching.